All right, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob at Smirking Gun Reviews, and we're back with more Expanse. We're doing Season 2, Episode 2. It's called Doors and Corners. I want to thank everybody that watches these reviews and comments on these reviews. I can tell there's a lot of passion for this show. And I like to thank anybody that fills in some of the gaps for me, especially people like Belinda R. Who, you guys really helped me out on this. I don't know if you guys are reading the books or something, but any extra help is always appreciated on this show. Not that it's hard to follow, but just filling in the gaps sometimes is a real nice gesture on everybody's part. And so let's talk about this. If you haven't seen it, spoilers, big ass spoilers ahead. Holy shit. Man. Okay, so I know I was told that this was part 2 of the season premiere, but I chose to watch it as 2 separate episodes. But Doors and Corners, damn Skippy, man. Holy shit. So it's hard to okay, so it's really nice to see our group with Miller as well, showing real solidarity, real confidence when they're facing Fred Johnson again, and also Chad Coleman in this episode as Fred Johnson just kicks ass. But I like how they just lay it out for him, like they're not fucking around. Okay, he's trying to understand what they've been up to, but when they finally lay it out for him, and plain, and you'd be here, you'd be doing the same thing as us if you were in, if you saw what happened. I like that they put it to this guy, they lay it out for him that, we're doing it, you can either be part of the solution or part of the problem, but we're going ahead anyway. And also then we have the fleet commander down there at the UN at their little thing that the little meeting that they're having, where they're still arguing about what the intentions of them taking out Phoebe Station was, and typical government stuff, and people plotting and scheming that they want to take, assault one of the moons to try to show well, you blew this station up, we're going to do this to you, tit for tat. But I love how the fleet commander guy is, the voice of reason here. You've got Christian trying to play her little sneaky roles. I mean, she's really good at playing the game and trying to do good, but not really caring what people think of her and her choices. Even if some of them appear to be, deceivably, that she looks like she's a bad guy, but what she's trying to do is get at the truth, get at what's really going on, who do we trust, all that kind of stuff. But I do like that the fleet commander stands down as, I think he's making the right decision, that these people are all just they're playing into what Aaron Wright and Julie Mao's dad is doing. They're just trying to do whatever it takes to start this war. Now, that being said, with what they know about this organism, speaking of the organism, when did we stop saying extraterrestrial and extrasolar? I don't know. It's fine. It's just weird. But I just don't understand why these guys, why are they trying to start a war with each other when this thing that they're studying is the real enemy? I don't know. I'm sure we're going to find out a lot more about this as the show goes on. But one of the things that they're talking about, you see Alex trying to help out these other Belters on Tycho Station, and Alex having a real problem with what's going on and how he wants to fight, and Amos is just kind of he's Amos. I mean, I'm only on season 2. This is the 13th episode, and I'm already Amos is just being Amos. Usually it takes longer in a series before you can start saying comments like that. But as soon as they tightened up on Alex with his little tirade, as soon as they cut focus where you couldn't tell what was going on next to him, I knew Amos had bounced. You could you could just tell the passion of Alex. Amos has no interest in listening to him bitch. So it was, even though I knew that there was either going to be nobody there, or as it turns out to be that girl standing there, that was pretty funny. Even though I knew what was coming, it still just works. So there's that. Then we have Christian talking to the fleet commander, and we get to find out the background of Fred Johnson, what really happened with that, what happened with him and the station that he took out, or those people that he took out, that he never knew that they had surrendered, that the powers that be just wanted an example to be made. So these people were going to die no matter what. So, you know, they pin a medal on him. He finds out that they surrendered. You know, these people on Earth and stuff, they think he's a hero. Everybody else hates him. So it's a pretty good reason to walk away. And now, you know, of course, the people that once thought he was a hero or say he's a hero, they're the first ones to turn on you. You know, as soon as you don't play, you know, and do what they want, you know, you're suddenly a traitor, which is just hilarious that's how it works in real life, you know, that as long as you go along to get along, as long as you play the game that they want you and play the role that they want you to play, you know, everything's good. As soon as you decide to think for yourself and step out of line, in their opinion, you're a traitor, you're committing treason. But it's nice to know that, yeah, Fred Johnson, you know, wasn't, you know, aware of what was going on, that he's doing what he's doing because it's right, and not because, you know, and trying to make up for clearly what was a pretty big mistake, but not, you know, an unknowing mistake. And it kind of gives you more, you know, like going forward, you know, you don't have to start sitting there like whose side is he on. So in that scene where he's talking to the other like factions that are from the OPA, like you know, there's OPA and then there's OPA, and this guy's talking, and it, you know, the way Fred reacts in this situation, you know, makes it, you know, better now that you know more of the backstory. One thing, does anybody else feel like a lot of the Belters talk like Waka from Final Fantasy X? It's something I was like trying to figure out what their dialect reminded me of, and it just reminded me of how Waka in Final Fantasy X. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, you know, he's kind of got that thing, yeah. You know, you talk like, you know, hey, this is it, yeah. We like a blitz ball, yeah. I don't know. I know that's probably like a 1%er kind of thing, but whatever. When he just wrecks that dude's head and throws him out of the airlock, and then tells these people what's up, like, that was pretty badass from Chad Coleman. You know, he was great as Tyrese on The Walking Dead for the most part, but in this, I like to see him just being he doesn't have to have all these like conflicted emotional things that he did on The Walking Dead. He can be a hard ass and get shit done on this show. You know, this is how you get those factions to pay attention. You know, like you had to wake them up, throw a troublemaker out the airlock, and tell them, we're going after the fuckers that killed all those people at Arrow Station. So here's where we get to, like, I almost started thinking I was going to forget so much of this episode, what happened before this next part, because it was so intense. So I like the fact that they can do simulations of fights. That was pretty interesting to see that they, you know, keep running the simulations. I mean, we have simulations here, like people can get into like little fake planes and run little things, but not to this degree. I like that they want Miller to sit out, and he's like, fuck you, man, I'm gonna be with the grunts, like making sure that these assholes don't, you know, like start shooting everything that moves. And as we see later on, it's a damn good thing that he is there to try to maintain order with these guys, because they're pretty much, you know, they're not the calmest people, knowing what happened at Arrow Station. They're just ready to kill anything that, you know, anybody. I like that the breaching pods are FedEx. That was pretty funny. But Miller, yeah, saying that he's going to go with the whole, like, after this, the plan to go in there, and you see the kid from Siri Station that messed with the water, and the whole time he's talking, I'm like, well, he's gonna be the first one to die, because they're just giving him way too much dialogue. And he was the one that was with his uncle when he got thrown out of the airlock. So this kid's like seen some shit. But I still, like, you know, after getting thrown out of the airlock and his uncle, and then now he's here, and just that speech and the way he's talking, I was like, yeah, he's going to be the first one to, like, as soon as the door opens, just... And so, before we get to that, so this is an intense scene with the ship. They quietly float away, and I'm like, man, that's far away. They are far away from this thing to, like, if there's a stealth ship there. And how they pull this off is just insane, intense. One of the, like, I don't get, like, you know, when I'm watching TV too much. But this definitely had me on the edge of my seat, where it seemed like every time you'd think that they're about ready to, they got past the stealth ship, they're in the thing, then the thruster goes, and Amos has to go and try to fix it, and then they see the gun, it's gonna shoot the pods. Well, first they had to shoot the missiles that they fired at the freighter with Fred Johnson's on it. Then, they shoot past the stealth ship, then the thruster goes, then Amos has to go try to fix the thruster, then they see the gun that's going to shoot the pods. One of the pods gets completely obliterated. Amos is like fucking doing some MacGyver shit with the thrusters. Then they got to do a high G maneuver. Alex has to freaking spin the thing around. It is intense. And then finally, Amos getting the thruster to work, doing that last minute move, shooting the gun that's shooting the pods, and then just blowing the fucking shit out of the stealth ship. And so they get on board, Fred Johnson gets on board, the Belter's pod gets in there. And of course, as soon as they get in there, that kid that I said is gonna get killed first, it looks like poof. Like, hey, there's nobody here, poof. And it looked like he gets his head blown off. And I was sitting there like, damn, man, that poor kid's seen it all. And then you find out that it's a gel round. And then you're like, what the, okay, so he's alive. So the kid's alive, and he's thinking he's calling himself invincible. But then you're like, why are they shooting gel rounds? What is going on here? Like, why are they, it's like paintball, right? So why would these guys have this kind of thing on here? And then you get to where these people are hooked up to this machine. And it's like the fucking Borg from Star Trek or something, where they're just all like connected to this thing. So Miller gets it detached and they instantly have a freak out. Like these people like just fucking lose it. Like they, somebody just took their drugs or something. And the Belters all just fucking kill them all, just except for the one last guy that Miller saves from them. And he tells them, doors and corners, that's where they get you. But when he tells everybody to like stay there, he kicks the door, open and goes backwards through the door. And I was thinking right before he goes through, I'm like, you're about to get yourself killed. You told people to watch the doors and corners and you just walk backwards through a door. But as we see, he lives and he finds the doctor, the scientist that was on Eero Station, and I had his name in my head, and now it is gone. It's like, oh my God, it starts with a D, I think. But anyway, he's there, and you find out that they knew about this life form, and this is where it starts. So this is my X-Files moment. It made me think of the conspiracy on the X-Files. So spoilers for the X-Files, where the government's working to save us from the aliens that came here. They're coming here to take over, and these guys are working to try to save some people so that we don't all get killed. Like they're doing terrible things for the greater good of everybody. That's what it made me think of. And so that's how they're describing this, is that this thing is causing an evolution. It can take over people to use it for its own purposes and evolve. And they're trying to talk about how they can use that to, have the human race evolve, where they can go out into space without suits and shit like that. And you know how they're, you know, Eros was in the long run is just this small little thing, you know, but comparing it to people like Go, as they say, Genghis Khan or whatever, that, you know, these people were all displaced and yada yada yada, trying to trying to make you feel like this is all worthwhile in the end, you know, that we're saving humanity. And yeah, there does need to be research on this thing if that's what it is. Like, if its main intention was to come here and kill us all, take us all over, then we definitely need to figure that out, but not try to repurpose it ourselves. I mean, unless that's the only way to fight it, is to become a part of it. But then I don't like the way that road, I don't like the road that's no. But so, you know, of course, Fred Johnson's like, all right, cool, you know, you just need to tell us who you're working with. And the guy's like, sure. But even during this whole conversation that he's talking, where he's like explaining everything, I was like, when is the bullet going to blow his head off? Because again, they've tightened on him. He's giving a big speech. This is the moment. And yes, Miller blows his head off. So I wasn't surprised. I knew if somebody was going to blow his head off, it was going to be Miller, maybe Holden. But, you know, just as he's going to tell them everything they need to know, Miller blows his head off, which is satisfying, but a dumb move on his part, because, well, I mean, maybe they could get the information from the guy that lived. But Miller's all emotion about this, about Julie Mao still, you know, and that's good. So anyway, that's where we leave off. It's amazing. I can't wait to watch episode 3, probably in the next day or so. So anyway, hopefully this was a good review. I can't believe how awesome it was. So if you like this video, please hit the like button, comment. Oh, gotta go back. Like I said, I was gonna forget something. They mention her and Holden talk about their relationship. And, you know, is Amos going to be a problem? And they, you know, she's basically like, no, you know, he's like a brother to me and all that kind of stuff. So there shouldn't be a love triangle. I'm still not that great at, you know, thinking, you know, like, why are they having to be together in this? Why do they have to have a love interest? Why can't they just have mutual respect for each other? As I just feel like in the timeline, it's just been way too soon for him and her to just be knocking boots after poor girl got blown up on the Canterbury. So anyway, but that's just me. I don't really, I don't want to dwell too much upon it. So anyway, that's it. I think that's the last thing I need to talk about. So if you like this video, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Hit the bell for all notifications for all my videos. I want to thank everybody that watches these on any of my videos. I want to thank everybody for all the support. I want to thank for all the growth we've made, all the subscribers we've been getting. We've bounced, like, in the last month and a half, we've jumped to like 75 subscribers in like less than 2 months. So we're up to like 275. It's a nice number. And again, I'll be making a video where I thank everybody that's been subscribing recently. Maybe do a video where I just thank all my subscribers. I don't know. So anyway, we will be back with another episode of The Expanse fairly soon. Maybe not, maybe in the next day or so. Otherwise, this is Rob at Smirking Gun Review saying, damn. Thank you again, whoever it was. I think it was Belinda who said hashtag doors and corners. Thank you for that. And we will see you on the next video. Have a great night. Bye.